What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have gone to Molineux and beaten Wolves by 3-1. We fell behind to an early goal but managed to fight our way back into it, and a 3-1 victory is no more than we deserve, to be honest with you. 13 points from 15 now in the Premier League, and next up is West Ham on Sunday. But I'm going to do what I always do, go through the players, give you a score of each of them, ask you guys to let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. Of course, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do, and don't forget to drop a like on the video. Look, I'm going to get straight into it because we've a lot to get through. We're going to start off with Alisson Becker, and it's a tough one to gauge for him because the goal came early, wasn't really his fault, but he didn't really have all that much to do afterwards. So I'm going to play it safe with Alisson, and we're going to go and give Alisson Becker a score of 7 out of 10. Moving on now to Joe Gomez, and look, this was a game of two halves for Joe Gomez. In the first half, he was being asked to do the Trent Alexander-Arnold role of being a hybrid right back, tucking inside, and it just didn't suit him. The space was being left for Neto to absolutely rip him apart down their left-hand side, our right-hand side, and we looked disjointed, we looked slow, and we looked confused. In the second half, where Jurgen just kept him on the right-hand side of the fence, I think he looked a lot better. So, with that in mind, we've given Joe Gomez a score of 7. And I'm being generous with that. He probably should have got a 6.5, but a second half performance was a lot better. So I'm going to round him up to a 7. Moving on now to Joel Matip. It was a steady enough game from Joel when he settled into it, but in the first half he looked like he was drugged or something. He looked like he was playing at 50%. Everything was slow and monotonous, and he was running into dead ends, and his passing wasn't on point. But like everybody else, in the second half he improved his performance. Yes, he had a youngster alongside him in Gerald Kwanzaa, and of course Joe Gomez at right back. This is a defence we probably won't ever see again under Jurgen Klopp, so I do have to take that into account. With that being said, what have we gone for Joel Matip? We've given him a score of 6 out of 10. Maybe you think I'm being a bit harsh there for Joel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Moving on to Gerald Kwanzaa. And look, first and foremost, let me just say I hope that it's not a serious injury that he picked up and that he's back playing or available for selection soon. And the biggest compliment I can give to Gerald Kwanzaa is at any time that he stepped into the first team to play, he's never looked out of place. He's never looked flustered. And somebody in the chat mentioned to me that he could be our Levi Colwill moving forward, and you know what, I agree with that. I thought it was a good performance from Gerald. So what have we gone with score wise? We've given him a nice solid 7 out of 10, and I think you'll agree he deserves that 7. He's so calm, isn't he? He's a big unit of a fella, but he is so calm, and I hope he continues to progress as he has. So we move on now to our captain for the day, Andy Robertson. We've sorted it. If you want Robert to score, very easy, give him the captain's armband. You know, we've seen those other occasions where he burst into the opposition penalty area, and maybe he's just been off balance. Maybe all he ever needed was a captain's armband to balance him out a little bit. What a performance from Andy Robertson today. He was the TNT Sport man of the match. He was your man of the match. He was my man of the match, and he was just brilliant. Nothing else to say. Full of energy, full of creativity, full of work, led from the front. Brilliant captain's performance from Andy Robertson, and he gets a score of 9 out of 10, and I think you'll agree, very much deserving of that score. We needed him to step up today, fill the void left by Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he absolutely did, so well done to Andy Robertson. Moving on now to Alexis McAllister. Look, it's going to be a low score, but let me caveat everything I'm going to say by saying this wasn't the Alexis that we know and love. This isn't the Alexis McAllister that we're going to see in a Liverpool shirt. I think it's entirely understandable that he showed such fatigue. He had to travel across continents. He had to play through jet lag and very little time to prepare. So I'm not surprised that it was a shocking performance, but I just want people not to judge him on this because, one, he's been playing in a position in number 6 that he's not really accustomed to. It's not what he was brought in to do. 2, he picked up the early booking, of course. He gave the ball away and then tracking back fouled his man. So it's going to be a low score, but it's not going to be reflective of how I feel about the guy. I love Alexis McAllister. But today, I've got to be honest and give him a score of 4 out of 10. I don't ever expect to have to give him a score that low again because he is way better than today's performance showed. Moving into midfield now, and Curtis Jones, not so great in the first half. Certainly didn't impact the game as much as he did in the second. We'd seen Curtis drop into the deeper, more Regista style role in the second half, and it really started to tick for him. He's grown into his own, deserves a starting place in the team. I think you can be very proud of his performance today, particularly in the second half. So we've given Curtis Jones a score of 7 out of 10. Again, let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with that score. Now we move on to this man, and I'm running out of words, superlatives. He is legit. He is a massive talent. And in the second half, when we were on the front foot, he ran the show. Long balls on a sixpence, short passing, tracking back, breaking lines, just everything. He has it all, and he's still only 22 years of age. I cannot wait to watch Dominic Szoboszlai's career at Liverpool Football Club. We have a number 8 who's deserving and worthy of that number. So today I've given him a score of 8 out of 10, and again, I think he deserves every single one of those points. I love this lad. He's brilliant, and I can't wait for the rest of the season. I'm so happy right now, friends. I am so happy. Moving on to our next player, it is Diogo Jota. Fair to say he didn't really carry his international form into today's game for the Reds. Now, I did predict him to start in my predictions earlier on in the week because of the situation with the lads travelling back, but he didn't justify that start. I'm going to be really honest. I thought he was disjointed today, and I wasn't overly impressed with him. I thought he was wasteful at times, and it was one of those frustrating Jota performances for me. Like everybody else, he became a bit better in the second half, but I think, a score of 6 out of 10 is what I'm giving him today. He can be better, he needs to be better, and he will be better, but I wasn't overly impressed with him today. Now we move on to Cody Gakpo, and again, I'm going to be honest. Yes, he got a goal, and it was a very good goal. He did exactly what you would want your forward to do, which is attack that back post. Salah played the ball across, and he was there to turn it home. But much like Diogo Jota, I don't think we've seen the best of Cody Gakpo today. A header, I remember that he had that veered very, very high. A strike that he had from the penalty spot that went very wide. And we'll have better from Cody Gakpo. So don't read too much into today's score of a 6 for him, because I think he can and will be better moving forward. But I'm trying to be entirely honest today. I wasn't overly impressed with him. Moving on to the great man, Mohamed Salah, was denied a hat-trick of assists today because Harvey Elliott's goal has unfortunately gone down as an own goal. But that is now something like 6 assists for Mohamed Salah in 5 games, or he's, again, one of only 4 players now to have had an assist away from home in 5 games in a row. And the records just keep tumbling. And yeah, he might not have got on the score sheet today, but he had 2 assists and he played a big part in the game. So I'm going to give Mo a score today of 8 out of 10. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And I love him. I love how hard he's working. And he was taken off today. I think he'll understand it was just to give Gravenberch a couple of minutes, and the game was won at that point. So a score for me of 8 out of 10 for Mo is pretty fair. Now we move on to Lucho. Again, totally understand why he didn't start. He was away with Colombia, had to travel all the way back across. But I think you'll agree with me. Those changes of bringing on Lucho, bringing on Harvey Elliott and bringing on Darwin changed the game, and we looked so much better from the minute Lucho came on at the start of the second half. I thought he was a bundle of energy today. He was attacking around the outside, but he was also cleverly cutting inside. His link-up play around the edge of the penalty area was spot on, and we just looked a much better team with Lucho on the pitch. So giving Lucho again a score of 8 out of 10, which may seem generous considering he only played 45 minutes, but what a massive impact he had in that 45 minutes. So yeah, for me, I think a score of 8 out of 10 is very much justified. Now we move on to this beautiful man here, Darwin Nunes. Once again, like I mentioned with Elliot and with the previous teammate, who did I have before this one? Like I just mentioned with Elliot, I think when Lucho came on, it changed the game. But when this guy came on as well, we just looked like we had options. First half, there seemed to be no out balls, no forward balls, nobody dropping into half spaces, nobody dropping between the lines. Second half, night and day, movement everywhere, options for Szoboszlai and Jones to pick out passes, the link-up play. It was just so much better. And he was a part of that, and the energy he brings just puts a smile on my face. I said it in the live chat, the vibes when he's on the pitch, he just has that Bobby Firmino type impact. So we're going to give Darwin a score of 7 out of 10 today. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. The last player that we're going to be ranking today is Harvey Elliott, and much like I said about Lucho and Darwin, this gentleman came on and changed the game. Very unlucky not to end up with a goal, but for us it's his goal. But all in all, I thought he was brilliant. Dropping into space, always available for a pass, picking out teammates. I don't understand how this kid doesn't get more respect from some sections of the Liverpool fan base. When he was coming on, there were some people in my chat that were saying, no, not Elliot. And I pulled them up on it. And I said, show him respect because he deserves it. And I thought Elliot was brilliant in the second half when he came on. So Harvey gets himself a score of 7 out of 10 as well. And lastly, but very much not leastly, Jurgen Klopp. And like everybody else, Jurgen's score today is based off the fact that his first team selection wasn't great, but he did make the changes and eventually we did come good. And it was nice to see us win the game off the bench. It was nice to have a bench that could come in and make an impact. And sometimes with these games, it's about wearing teams down. And I think eventually we did that. So full credit to Jurgen for the changes. But got to give him a score of 7 out of 10. Let me know if you agree or disagree with those scores, my friend. And yeah, thank you for tuning in as always. Don't forget, we have a couple of videos coming up on our brand new channel, Top of the League. I'm going to be recording Champions League predictions. That is going to go out one video tonight, one video tomorrow. So if you want to subscribe to Top of the League, you will find the link in the description of this video. And again, I look forward to catching up with you guys soon. 13 points from 15. Perfect, nearly perfect start for the Reds in the Premier League. And the 12:30 curse is officially broken. I'll catch up with you guys live tomorrow night over on the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel from 8:30 PM. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful Saturday and thank you for tuning in.